I've been driving the Dodge Avenger this week, and it's got me thinking a lot about how much the car world has changed. American cars used to have a very distinct look and feel to them. They felt big and heavy and comfortable for long stretches down the highway, because our cities are just so far apart here. And they looked bold and brash and muscular because, hey, we just won World War II. We're winning the Cold War. And the way our cars looked reflected that. Well, back in the 1980s and 90s, when Japanese cars started selling in big numbers and the Cold War was behind us, American cars made a big change. Gasoline prices were more of a concern, we had new safety and fuel economy rules from the government, and suddenly the American cars started looking and driving a whole lot like the Japanese cars. That's still the case today. If you drive a Ford or a Chevy, you know it's going to drive an awful lot like a Honda or a Toyota. Today's American cars feel lighter and more nimble than they used to. Yes, you can still tell a difference between them, but it's much more subtle than it used to be. And that's why the Dodge Avenger stands out to me. There's still something deeply American about this car. You sit inside and it's got a big, thick steering wheel. It's got a soft suspension that feels like it's made just for American interstates. And the engine has some meat to it. It's not one of those little tiny, high-revving Japanese-style engines. Now, that also means gas mileage isn't all that impressive. My test car with the 3.6-liter V6 was rated for 19 miles per gallon in town and 29 on the highway. But when you factor in how much horsepower this car makes, 283 horses with the V6, it's really pretty good for the amount of power you're getting. As for the styling, I like the American muscle car influence on it, the big fender flares, the muscular hood, the slope of the back window. But I almost wish it could be even more aggressively retro like the Dodge Challenger, or maybe more sleek and modern like the Dodge Dart. The look seems to fall about halfway in between an old-school muscle car and a modern family sedan. And for the pricing, well, that's one of my favorite things about this car. It starts a little over $20,000, and my test car that came with that powerful V6, leather seats, a navigation system, and the blacktop appearance package, it rang up a little over $26,000. Personally, I think that's an awesome price for a car with this much power and this level of equipment.